Okay, NFL aficionado fiend fans, time to do the recap video over last week's picks. Of course, I picked the game straight up, then I did it with the spread, whether or not they covered or not. So overall, I went 9-7 as far as picking straight up winners. Nine corrects, seven incorrects. But against the spread, I went 5-11. So hopefully, you guys didn't use my advice when trying to pick your games for betting purposes. I'm not a huge sports bettor, to be honest with you. I don't do any of that DraftKings stuff like that. I do pick just straight up winners, but obviously I know a lot of people do, so it does add to some of the excitement with it. So without further ado, let's get into the actual games. So first game on Thursday night, everybody knows I picked Philly. I picked cover the point spread. Jalen Carter getting thrown out definitely hurt the Eagles' defense. Kind of opened things up for the Dallas offense. Nice game overall, but Philly won as expected. I think that they're going to do well moving forward. So again, there's that one. In the Friday game in Brazil, I picked Kansas City to beat the Chargers, and whoa, was I sadly mistaken on that one. The Chargers looked really, really good in that game. I think this might be the year that we finally see Justin Herbert move from a great quarterback to an elite top 5 quarterback, especially if Harbaugh and Greg Roman continue to put the ball in his hands and let that offense run through him, as opposed to what we're normally seeing where the ground and pound, make passes where you need to. So I picked Kansas City straight up to win in that game, and they flat out lost. So next game we got, I picked Tampa Bay to beat Atlanta. Not only did Tampa Bay win, but they covered the spread as well. So I was 2 for 2 on that game. Cincinnati and Cleveland. Oh my gosh, boy, did I get this one. I picked the winner in Cincinnati, but man, they did not cover the spread in that one. And boy, honestly, Cincinnati deserved to lose that game. They looked downright atrocious. And if Cincinnati doesn't get their offensive line figured out, I don't know if Joe Burrow makes it through the season. So those of you that have Joe Burrow, anybody that has that Cincinnati offensive players in fantasy football, watch out, because that offensive line is atrocious. And the defense played better, but again, they're going against Cleveland. I don't think they have a great offense anyways. So, So, all right, 1 for 1 on that. Again, pick Cincinnati, but they did not cover. They barely won the game again. If Cleveland knew how to kick a field goal, they came away winners in that one. So next one, 0 for 2. I picked Miami to beat Indianapolis, and boy, was I wrong. I said Indianapolis doesn't have a quarterback. And Miami, Tua, say what you want. He does play decent in that Mike McDaniel's offense, but boy, did I get that wrong. Daniel Jones looked like a Pro Bowl quarterback against that Miami defense, and that Colts defense just flummoxed Tua all day long, to the point where they just beat the brakes off the Miami Dolphins. Miami did get a garbage time touchdown to make to at least, so they didn't put a goose egg on the board. But as far as overall most impressive win for the week, it does go to Indianapolis. So definitely got that one wrong there. So again, it's why you play on Sundays. Everybody remembers the Al Pacino movie Any Given Sunday, right? So next we move to Las Vegas and the Raiders. Got this one right, 2-0. Basically picked the Raiders to cover the spread, and they did. New England again, off-season free agent winners, and again, offense looks atrocious, and the defense, for all the pieces they added, didn't do much. Geno Smith sliced and diced them up, and if Geno Smith is slicing and dicing you, boy, I hate to see what's going to happen when Josh Allen shows up to play that Patriots D. So moving on to the next one, Arizona and New Orleans. Arizona decided to toy around with New Orleans longer than they should have. They did win. They did cover. So two good ones in that one. But New Orleans again doesn't have a quarterback. Spencer Rattler, less than 50% of completed passes. So it's only a matter of time before they put that rookie Tyler in there to give him a shot, because you can't do any worse than Spencer Rattler. So Arizona won and covered against New Orleans. So next one, got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Jets. Pittsburgh did win, but they did not cover the spread. A little bit of a shocker here. It was a wild game. I actually watched that whole game. Aaron Rodgers threw 4 touchdowns. I mean, he looked okay, but I think the Jets lost that game more than the Pittsburgh won it. And even with all Aaron Rodgers' heroics, it still took a 60-yard field goal from Boswell to bring it home for them. And then basically a blunder of the last drive from the Jets to lose that game. I was really looking forward to them coming down and kicking a game winner there. So next one. Pittsburgh covered, or they did not cover, but they did beat the Jets. So 1-for-1 in that one. The Giants versus Washington. As you guys know, this is my upset pick of the week. I really thought that defensive line was going to get after Jaden Daniels, and that defense did play well. The problem is Russell Wilson is who we think he is. He is, in the famous words of Dennis Green, he is who he thought he was. So Russell Wilson is just, below average starter in the NFL now. It's only a matter of time before Jackson Dart comes in there. It's just how long Daboll wants to put up with that nonsense from Wilson. And I think really they're waiting for that left tackle to get back so Dart doesn't get himself killed this year. But I see that Jackson Dart starting by no later than week 4 of that game. So 0-for-2 in that game. Again, pick the upset. And Jaden Daniels said, not on my watch, sir. So really like that. Deebo Samuel did come alive and showed some of that early stuff he showed in his career with a good game there. So next one, Carolina at Jacksonville. Had a long rain delay in that game or storm delay in that game, but Jacksonville came away impressive. They did win. They did cover, so two for two on that aspect. Travis Etienne, wow, he came back and looked alive. Looked like that first-round pick that we were all hoping he was going to be for the deal. Looked so good, in fact. The Jaguars had enough confidence to trade away Tank Bigsby off that team, who I definitely thought was going to be the number one back in that running back committee there in Jacksonville. So Jacksonville handled business at Carolina, or at home against Carolina. So 2 for 2. Next one, Denver at Tennessee. It was close for a while, guys. I'm not going to lie. Bo Nix, sophomore slump may be headed this way because he played like garbage. 3 turnovers and against a team that you really need to do well against. You shouldn't be struggling against a team like that. Now it is week 1 of the season. A big thing now is there really is no preseason. It's mainly playing your rookies and backups to see what they can do and stuff like that. So once your starters play, you need about a half to kind of get things going. And then 2, in the second half, you start to wear out because you haven't played a game in 10 months or so. So really, but Denver did manage to put things together and pull away. They did barely cover the spread because that defense was absolutely awesome. I think they had 6 sacks in the game and just made life miserable for Tennessee. I read some stat where Tennessee had like 5 drives start on the Denver 50-yard line, and they couldn't get in the red zone. So that Denver defense is looking for real this year. It wasn't a fluke what they did last year, so curious there. So Denver taking care of business going and covering the spread in that game. Next one, very embarrassing here. San Francisco going to Seattle and beating Seattle in the last seconds. Tough, gritty win for San Francisco. And I think Seattle is regretting already the trade, getting rid of Geno Smith and signing Sam Darnold. I think the Darnold is turning back into the pumpkin and really doesn't have the magic that he had last year with Kevin O'Connell and the Minnesota Vikings. So I think it's going to be a long season for the Seattle Seahawks with that deal. If that running game don't get going, they're going to be in big trouble. So anyway, San Francisco taking care of business at Seattle, giving me 0 for 2 on that game there. So the next game, this is the one that I did not think Micah was going to have the difference maker he was. I thought Detroit was going to win and cover. I was wrong on both accounts, and to be honest, Detroit looks absolutely atrocious. Losing Ben Johnson was a concern, but my bigger concern was that offensive line and losing 2 Pro Bowls in the center of it. And boy, did they look bad. Jared Goff did not look good. The whole offense looked out of sync, and it all starts up front. They could not get anything going because that offensive line was just getting wrecked by Green Bay. On the opposite side, that Green Bay defense is looking like it's actually a top 5 legit defense in the NFL. And then 2, Jordan Love looking like an efficient quarterback, not making the wild plays, staying in the offense, playing the game, doing what he needed to do, completing 10 different passes to 10 different receivers. So really like that one. So big time wrong on that one. Green Bay has announced themselves as contenders in the NFC North for sure, and the NFC. Eagles, look out. Green Bay is coming for you. So next we move to Houston at the Rams. I thought Houston defense was just going to kick Matthew Stafford's butt all over the field. And that defense plays strong. But the problem is Houston does not have an offense. All they can manage was field goals, and it's not going to get easier for them. They have no offensive line, and really outside of Nico Collins, they got no skill players. So Houston might be put on notice with that team in Indianapolis putting on the show that they did. So Houston might not make the playoffs this year. I'll be quite honest with you. So that Rams defense is for real, but still, when you only can get 3 field goals, that's not a good sign. So over 2 in that game there because I picked Houston to win outright. The next one, Baltimore at Buffalo. So picked Buffalo to win, but we did not cover because the point spread was 1.5, and we only won by 1. And to be honest with you guys, that game was looking like a blowout for Baltimore all day long to the last 4 minutes of the game. And then boom, the Bills coming out. But remember, I did say I believe it was going to come down to a field goal, either from that rookie from the Baltimore side or Matt Prater from the Bills side. And it did come down to a field goal. So big turnover at the end. And go there. So 1 for 1, but I'll take it. I'll take it anytime the Bills win. I'll take that over covering the spread all day long. So hence why I bet winners, not the point spread. So last one, Minnesota coming to Chicago. I thought Ben Johnson was going to make things happen. I didn't believe in that Minnesota defense, but man, I watched the game last night. Hopefully some of you guys did too. Had a chance to relax and really cap off the night. And for the first 3 quarters, it looked like Chicago, that defense was for real. And Caleb Williams in the first half looked like a legit NFL quarterback. In the second half, it flipped the script. In the first half, Caleb Williams looked like a legit NFL quarterback. McCarthy, oh my gosh, I wasn't sure what was going to happen there. Go to the second half. And for the third quarter, for the rest of the game, Caleb Williams looked like a bum. But I believe that had a lot to do with the offensive line. They had 12 penalties out of the game for over 100 yards. I know in the first half when I was watching it, I think they had 4 or 5 false starts on that by the tackle right. He's probably going to be benched this week or put on notice that, hey, get it together. And then in the fourth quarter, McCarthy came on. Didn't have a great statistical game, but at the end of the day, you win, and that's how you're judged is wins and losses in the NFL. So nobody cares about your stats if you get the win on the sheet. Great job for Minnesota, and that defense again, a lot of it's scheme to me, but they got after it after that first quarter and really showed and really shut down that Chicago offense. Ben Johnson has a lot to learn about being a head coach versus being an offensive coordinator. That's the one thing about it. When you go from being the guy who runs the offense to the guy who runs the complete team, it's a whole different ballgame, as evidenced by the decision to not kick the ball out of bounds and basically cost themselves 40 seconds off the clock with that last kick. So instead of getting the ball back with, let's say, roughly, let's say they got it back with about 12, 15 seconds. So you would have had about a minute with no timeouts to drive down and possibly kick a game-time field goal. You really only had 10 seconds and basically have to hope for a miracle play there. So anyways, I picked Chicago to win, and boy, was I wrong. So 0 for 2 there. So again, there's the recap of what we have. Like I said, 9-7 straight up, 5-11 against the spread. So hope everybody had a great weekend, enjoyed all the games. I believe it was a fantastic start to the season from the Thursday night game, the Friday night game, the Sunday night game was excellent. Had several good games on Sunday to watch, and then pretty good game last night as well. Started out with a bang and then had the comeback win by Minnesota. It is week 1, so lots to clean up. Lots of teams really playing football for the first time and getting it together for the week. So interesting week in week 2. And again, we'll probably come out with the picks on Thursday for week 2. Again, we'll do a straight up picks and then what they do against the spread as well. And so yeah, all right, guys, that's the end of this video. Again, hope everybody had a great week 1. No matter where your team ended up, just remember it's week 1, and we got a long season to go, and we'll definitely have a good time. So everybody stay safe out there. Make your comments. Let me know how your team did. Let me know if you got a chance to watch the game, how you did against the picks. If you picked them yourself, if you're a sports bettor, did you clean up? Did you lose your ass? Let me know, and we'll go from there. So until we talk again, we'll definitely see you. There will be a fantasy football video coming out probably tomorrow morning to cover my picks on fantasy. But again, this one I just want to cover the actual games themselves at the picks. So again, everybody have a good one, and we'll talk again soon. Bye.